Good evening. This is Susan Daly, editor of the Journal, speaking at Marketing Night on Wednesday, the 19th of October 2011. Hi, Susan. I have a couple of questions for you. How has people's consumption of news changed over recent times?
Well, I think we can see that from our point of view as the Journal.ie, we are looking at the fact that people are massively moving online. That's not just in news consumption, that's in all parts of life, and it's just absolutely massive move that feels like a revolution in our lifetime, but it's become part of daily life, I think, for other people, the generations behind us. News consumption is moving online as well. People want to have access to news 24/7. They want to be able to check it when it suits them, not when it's the o'clock, when a particular news program is on, or when they can actually get fresh news in the morning. They want to know what's happening right now at the place they are in the rest of the world. They want everything put into context and available to them. The internet is absolutely ideally suited to this, to be able to click into it, especially with the rise of mobile devices that people use. A lot of people have smartphones now, and that's on the rise too. So this is kind of the behaviour of people, and we have to create products online that match that are not static products, and that's very much what we've tried to do with Journal.ie. What we found is that people like to participate a lot in news. They like to get their say in it. They like to have stuff delivered to them that is of interest to them. So they'll often use their social media channels, your Facebooks, your Twitter, to find out what their friends are reading, what's interesting. It's like a whole new global water cooler, and they'll share things between them, and that's where people are having a massive effect on actually what's in the news agenda, is sharing articles and sharing sites and directing people towards things they think are interesting news worthy. News essentially is now what people feel impacts on their lives, and you very much have to keep up with that and keep with the pace and keep innovating and bringing up products that actually serve that need. That's what we're trying to do.
Perfect. How has or will this affect marketeers, do you think?
I think marketeers face a certain amount of challenge in this way as well, because the way people consume news online is also similar to the way that they use online in general for different things. And obviously marketers are involved in every part of life. Everything in our lives is in some way probably intersects with the marketing world, and so people have to be aware that online people are using uh, their own news to find information, to find out the best product for them, if that's, if they're specifically looking for that, or if they're looking for directions to something. You kind of have to tune in with how people are using online in that way. So you can't just say to them, here's a site we have built for a product, and you should come here. They're not going to come specifically to you. You have to be useful to people, and you have to find ways of doing that, of bringing extra value to people online, of being able to wave "we're over here" and not necessarily expecting that they're going to come, but that they'll know that you're there. It's about you having the presence online so that you naturally become part of their online experience. That's how it's going to work for people.
Perfect. And finally, a question we put to all our speakers. What is the most valuable professional lesson that you've learned so far?
So far is a good word, because I'm still learning. I think if you're not learning, and that's probably the biggest thing, if you're not still learning all the way through your working life and through your career, then you are going to stagnate, and it's not going to work, particularly obviously in the business I work in online, because it is shooting out in all sorts of different directions, and you have to try and stay on top of that and keep on top of the new developments. I suppose for me, I know it's an old chestnut, but innovate or die. I mean, you can have a product that works quite well now even, but in 5 years time, will that be the product that will serve people's needs, either on digital, or on some other sphere? And so that would be an overriding thing for me. We're doing this well now, how can we do it better? And we're doing it the best we can now. Is that best what people will need in 2 years time? You have to think ahead. I think that's been the biggest thing, and we've seen industries that have possibly not thought ahead and have stagnated and are now in decline, and you can't really complain about that if you haven't taken the bull by the horns and been brave. I think being brave is another thing, being courageous. Listen to people's criticism and advice. I think there's nothing so annoying than hearing people give really sound advice to someone and them not taking it on board because they consider themselves an expert. I think the most expert people are the people who surround themselves with experts and take on board what other people are saying. It's an information culture that we have, and it's an information society, and if you're not taking full advantage of that information, I don't know where you're going.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Susan.